Hello love, welcome back to the channel. This is Sew with Oma. If you're watching for the first time, you're welcome. Do not forget to subscribe, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for the support. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to draft and cut a 6-piece skirt. This kind of skirt would flow at the bottom, that's the flay would be really flowy, and I'll show you how to achieve this without having to divide your measurement by 6. The first thing we're going to do now is to get all our vertical measurement, and so I took my hip line measurement, my knee length, and then my length. The remaining amount after the full length measurement is going to be for our hemming allowance. Okay, the next thing I did after getting all my vertical measurements is using my straight ruler, I ruled a line across and then named them accordingly. I named the hip line, the knee line, and then our length. Once that is done, the next thing we want to do now is to get all our circumference measurements, and I'll be starting with my waist circumference or the band circumference. I'm going to divide this by 4 and then mark the amount there. Then on the hip line, I'm going to take my hip measurements divided by 4. I'm going to mark it like so. On the knee length, I'm going to also take my knee measurement divided by 4. That's my knee circumference divided by 4. Okay, so but what we're going to do here to get the perfect knee length, we're not going to be using the exact knee length, that's your exact knee point. Okay, we're going to be moving up by 3 inches. You can actually move up by 5 inches or more. That's depending on how or where you want your new knee length to be or your project knee length to be. Okay, but the essence of moving up by 3 inches is just for ease and as well to help the flea to be more pronounced or to be more obvious. Okay, so this is going to be our new knee length, and so we'll not be using the exact knee length anymore. I'm going to take my knee length measurement divided by 4 and mark it like so. Once that is done, the next thing I'm going to do now is to take my curved ruler, placing it this way first. I'm going to connect the point from my hip line to the waist, and now placing it upside down the way you see me do. I'm going to connect now from my new knee length to the hip line like so. The next thing to do now is to get your nipple to nipple measurement, that's your apex measurement or your bust span measurement, however I know it as. You're going to get that now, your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2, and so you're going to mark it at your center front. You're going to start marking from your waist circumference up to your hip line and then to your new knee length. Okay, that's where you're going to stop. Now using your straight ruler, you're going to rule a line to connect all these points together from your knee length to your waist point. Okay, so now after this is done, we want to get our dart line because this is going to have a dart. And so what we're going to do now is from your hip line, you're going to go up by 2 inches. So to get your dart from the hip line, you usually move up by 2 inches. So you're moving up by 2 inches, you now use your straight ruler to rule a line across. After ruling the line, the next thing you want to do now is to indicate using your marker or your pencil to write your dart line. Once that is done, on that your apex line, that's your nipple to nipple line divided by 2 that you ruled initially, you're going to take half an inch on both sides of the line, and then using your straight ruler or your curved ruler, you then form a dart like so. Now that we have taken our dart, we have to replace it back. Okay, so the next thing you want to do now is using your tape rule, you're going to get your 1 inch of your dart intake that you took initially for your dart. You're going to replace it on your waistline, and then using your curved ruler, you're just going to place it the way you see me placing it, and then connecting that point from your hip line up to the 1 inch dart intake that you've added back. Once that is done, the next thing we want to do is to get our flay amount, and so you're going to get your tape rule. Usually the flay amount starts from 10. This pattern paper is placed singly. When you want to place this on your fabric, your main fabric, you have to place it on fold. Okay, so our flay amount, I use 12 inches. You can use less from 10 inches and above. Note that this 12 inches that I used will be multiplied by 2 to make it 24 once it's opened up. Okay, so this is the center front, and remember our center front will be placed on fold on the main fabric. So if you place your center front on fold and you place your pattern paper this way, when you open it, it's no longer going to be 12 but 24. You're going to be connecting this point from your new knee length, okay, not your exact knee length, from the new knee length down to the flea amount that we marked, which is 12 inches. Once that is done, the next thing you want to do is to get the amount from your knee length to the hemming allowance length, okay. So I got 19. On that flea line, I'm going to mark the exact 19 like so, and then using my curved ruler, I'm just going to join it back to the hemming allowance length. So this is how to achieve the centerpiece flea. So we're going to use our scissors now. We're going to cut out like so. So take a look at how I'm going to cut out this centerpiece. So I'm going to start from the length. I'm going to cut all the way following the flea amount line. I'm going to also join now to the apex line, that's the nipple to nipple, and cut out like so. So if you notice, you see that I cut out the dart. Now this is what the centerpiece looks like, and now we're going to go ahead and continue with the side piece. I want to start working on the side piece, so I just used my marker now to indicate my new knee length and then my hip line as well as my dart line, okay. So the next thing I want to do now is to start cutting out, and I started cutting out from my new knee length. After cutting out, the next thing you're going to do now is to get a new sheet of paper. So we want to get the 19 inches that we removed. So you know, from the new knee length to the hemming length, that's our hemming allowance, we are left with 19 inches, okay. So we want to now get that 19 inches. So I'm just going to take about 20 inches because we're going to join this now to the side piece. That's to get the full length from the waist point down to the hemming allowance. We're going to join this 20 inches we are measuring now. We're going to join it from the new knee length, okay, to get our complete full length. Now to get our flea amount for the side piece, we need 24 inches. Remember I told you when cutting the center piece, the flea amount is 12, and so I told you that on the main fabric, if you place it on fold, by the time you open it, you get 24 inches. For the side piece, we're going to cut it singly, and if you are cutting it singly, we use 12 inches as our flea amount. It's going to be shorter compared to the center piece, so that's why we want to get the exact 24 inches for the side piece. To get the flea amount, which is 24 inches as the width, my paper is already 24 inches, so I'm going to go ahead and continue to get my length, which is about 20 inches, to complete my full length on the side piece. So after getting that, I'm just going to use my straight ruler to connect all the lines like so. As soon as I'm done connecting, I'm going to use my scissors now to cut out. After cutting out, I want to get now the midpoint of my flare amount, that's the 24 inches. I'm just going to mark 12 inches. I'm going to use my ruler now to connect that line. After connecting, I'm going to bring my side piece now, and I'm also going to get the midpoint at the knee length. Once that is done, I'm going to mark it and just use my marker to indicate the midpoint. Once I've indicated my midpoint, I'm going to now bring the midpoint of the side piece and the midpoint on my plain paper. I'm going to place it like so, and then using my paper tape, I'm going to gum it this way. Once that is done, the next thing I'm going to do is just to connect with my straight ruler. I'm going to place it in a slanted form, connecting from my new knee length down to the end point, that's to the hemming allowance, okay, the way you see me doing, like so. After connecting the right side, I'm also going to connect the other side as well, the way you see me doing, down to the hemming allowance. So once that is done, we want to ensure that all our sides are equal in length, and so we're going to get 19 inches from the new knee length to the hemming allowance side. Once we get the 19 inches, we're going to indicate it with our marker. Also on the other side as well are 19 inches. Please note that when cutting your own, it might be longer than 19 inches, okay. So this just depends on the length of the person that you're making for, or if it is your length, you know. For the purpose of this video, it is 19 inches from the new length line, okay. So I'm just going to use my curved ruler to connect like so. Basically, this is everything. It is this easy to achieve, okay? So you do not need to necessarily now divide your hip circumference and waist circumference by 6 and now start cutting singly until you get like 6 pieces. With this pattern, you can cut out all your 6 pieces and here you have it, okay? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video very impactful and useful. If you found this video useful, if you found it interesting, do not forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me also know what you'd like me to post. And to everyone that has already been subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. To the many people that are always returning to watch my videos, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and do not forget to share it to your friends, your loved ones, and anybody who you think might need this tutorial. So this is what it looks like. After cutting it, you're going to get your side piece looking this way. Also note that when cutting your side piece or your main fabric, you need the right side and the left side, okay? So if you're placing it to your center piece, you do not need to cut singly. You just place on fold and cut like so. But your side piece, you need to cut singly, cutting your right side and your left side. So this is what it looks like. Thank you very much for watching. Till we see in our next video. Mwah.